Yeah, hello and welcome to a new episode of the weekly Spielworxx chat season 2. My name is Uli Blennemann and I hope you are all well. Today's episode will be somewhat shorter than usual, I guess, as I'm really very busy right now with the final preparations for The Smoky Valley by Claude Serrois. We are also waiting for the release of Squaring Circleville by Matt Wolf, and both Conworks and Spielworxx are not far away. And there is Andreas. Hello, Andreas. I hope you are really well. And if you are having questions and comments, please put them in the chat window. The Smoky Valley should be available for pre-order both from our website and from Spieleschmiede on September 30. So late this month. And in the US, the game will be also available from the BGG store. If you are in Canada, you may order the game via Board Game Bliss. So thank you for all my partners out there. And if you are interested in an intro to the game, Stefan and Chris of Victoria Pater did a wonderful video in German language. And please let me post the URL over here. So this is the intro to the game. And thank you, Claude, for this great game. In other news, I still have a few copies left of Crescent City Cargo. Just a handful. Let's say how fast they move. What did I play? Which games did I play? I did not play much recently because of work and so many test games. Basically, only favorites like Pax Pamir and Infamous Traffic. Here I had a wonderful four-player game with two other German brutes and Chris from the US who won. And normally, I think it's a good tactic because it's a game full of opportunities to wait long in the game and then do your moves. But here I waited a little bit too long and only came in third. So yeah, what can you do? I also played a single game of Three Kingdoms Redux. That is the capstone re-release of this game from Asia. I think it's Starting Player, Starting Player who did the game originally. This is quite a good game. It's just for three players, and I played it with Carsten and Ode. And I think it's a little bit too long, but still a good game. And I played a game of Quebec. Um, I mentioned this already last week when I had Matthew Dunstan here as my guest. And thank you, Daniel Newman, for suggesting this title to me. I think Quebec is really very good, and this is an older title from 2011, which I totally missed. I've never seen it before. But if you are able to check it out, give it a try. And let me see that I'm posting the URL of that one. And that should be Quebec. And hello, Chris. Good seeing you. Hope you are fine in the UK. So conventions. I was able to attend the Berlin Brettspiel convention for one day on Saturday, and this was my first larger event that I attended since late 2019. And the convention was well organized, the people behaved very well, and everybody seemed to have a great time. So people had to wear masks naturally. Apart, and that was, yeah, well, I get to this in a second, apart from when you're sitting down and playing a game. So as soon as you sat on a gaming table, you were allowed to take off your mask. And this seems to be somewhat strange. But at least here in Germany, the regulations are if you are in a restaurant and if you are sitting down at your table, you may take off your mask. And of course, a restaurant is a much smaller space than these large halls. So it's not that different. And these are the Berlin rules. And Essen, which is in Nordrhein-Westfalen, totally different federal state here, the rules are different. You need to wear masks all the time at Spiel Essen. So even when sitting down to play a game. The convention was certainly a lot lighter attended than in 2019. And today I got the official numbers. In total, 2.5 days, there were 4,282 people. And it's the American style of counting. So if you attend the convention on Saturday and on Sunday, so you are counted twice. So lighter numbers, but I still think very respectable numbers. And also I was able to see friends like Peter Eggert, like Victor and Matthias, all of Deep Print Games. I was able to meet Christoph Tisch of Feuerland and also troublemaker Ben Maddox. And I also met designer Kathleen Mercury, who currently is a teacher in Romania. So the world is really small, and I hope that the convention went well for the organizers. And I certainly look forward to 2022, so next year. And the convention will be back in mid-July, so not in September, right before the award ceremony for the Spiel des Jahres, Game of the Year, which is always on a Monday. So you have the convention Friday till Sunday, and then the award ceremony on Monday. And yeah, and hopefully I'll have a booth next year at Berlin Brettspiel Convention as well. And at Spiel at Essen in mid-October, I will have a small, tiny booth. So just 5 by 2 meters, very small. And I'm in hall 2D119. Let me just post this. So this is 2D119. So surprisingly, I was able to get a space in one of the front halls, which is nice, but it's still a very small booth. But if you'd like to say hello, I'd love to see you, and please do so. You can even do selfies with me, although I'm not recommending it. So you will have me on this photo. So this is, I'm not sure if this is a great idea. So let me check here. Andreas is saying, I would recommend that if unknown players come to your table to wear masks, and if you are on the table with your friends, it's fine, because at home you would also sit with them the same way. Yes, you can look at it in both ways. So at Essen, you always wear masks, which are the regulations right now. This may change till mid-October, of course. Because when I said there are federal regulations, of course the organizers at Essen, this is Märzverlag, they can overrule it. They can make their own rules for the event, which when they are in line with the federal state regulations. So at Essen you always wear masks, fine. But of course when you're eating, drinking, you take off your mask. At Berlin it's different. You're sitting down and play with other people. Of course, the danger is a little bit higher because you're sitting pretty close to each other. Although at Berlin there was more than enough space and everything was spaced out nicely. So I'm not really certain and sure which is better. Of course, it's better for safety. It's better to wear masks all the time. But on the other hand, also, if you have to wear a mask from 10 to 7 p.m., 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., this is a very, very long time. So we'll see. Andreas is asking, you will have a booth at Spiel Digital? Yes. I will, because all the people who book something at Spiel at Essen, they automatically are at Spiel Digital. And you know, Andreas, I'm not a fan of Spiel Digital, and I'm a fan of live events and not of pre-recorded events. But at Spiel Digital, I'm already at Spiel, so I can't be at home and do Spiel Digital as well. and do it live. I also can't do it live at Essen because I have to talk all the time, and my net connection, my streaming abilities are almost nil in the halls. So I will pre-record some videos, put them at Spiel Digital, and that's what I'm doing. Very limited, which is what is somewhat strange is if you are not booking a booth at Essen, you are not allowed to participate at Spiel Digital. So it's not I can do this and maybe also this. No, we do both or nothing. So that's the regulations. But Spielworxx 2, the second edition of Spielworxx, so this is Spielworxx small and cozy online convention, is on October 1 and 2. Everything will be streamed live here at this channel. So at this channel, everything will be live, and I really love to have you as my guests. And you can already take a look at the Friday program, which is here. So this is Friday. And on Friday, October 1, we start at 10 a.m. EDT, which is 4 p.m. CET, 16 Uhr. And I start with a brief intro by me. And half an hour later, Ode and Mike will let us know more about La Granja El Burro, which is the second game in the La Granja series, a brand new entry, so it's not an expansion. And I had the chance to take a close look here at my home desk at the game together with Ode 8 days ago, and this game is taking is really making a lot of progress. It looks very, very good. So that will be at 10:30 a.m. EDT, 4:30 p.m. CET on Friday, and at 11:15 a.m. EDT, which is 5:15 p.m. CET, so 17:15 Uhr, Stefan Ristehaus will tell us all the details about Gentes Epos. So Gentes Epos is also a standalone game in the Gentes family, and this is a kind of campaign legacy type game, more campaign than legacy type game, but it's most interesting. And he's testing the game with Vessel a lot, and I was also playing a scenario, I think 7 days ago, and this was great fun. And finally, on Friday at noon EDT, 6 p.m. CET, Martina Fuchs of the jury Spiel des Jahres. And I will take a look at the gaming year 2021. Yes, it's not over, but I think we can cover some trends here. And from noon, EDT, 6 p.m. CET, the Podfather of Gaming will also join us for an hour. And the Podfather will be replaced by Ignacy Cevicek, CEO of Portal Games. 1 hour later, he will add his perspective. And finally, another hour later, which is 2 p.m. EDT, 2 p.m. EDT, 8 p.m. CET, so 20 Uhr, Ben Maddox of 5 Games for Doomsday, and now also of the Dice Tower, where he cannot swear, which must be hard for him. He will also cause some trouble at Spielworxx. So this is the program for Friday, which is also fixed. And I'll announce a complete Saturday program. We stream from 9 a.m. CET, so right in the morning, till about 11 p.m. CET, so for about 14 hours live. And I will post the program for Saturday this week. And to give a rough outline, after I start with Ella of Ella Loves Board Games into the day, there will be a few surprise announcements, and we will cover these days, so in no order. So there's Pilgrim, which I do jointly with Nick Case, and you may have seen some photos already on Twitter. There I will cover Schrille Stille by Peter Wichmann. This is the second edition of this game, but totally upgraded, changed a lot, and the first edition was published by Zoch Verlag, Zoch Spiele, in 1999, and Schrille Stille has never been done in English language. There will be Oranienburger Kanal, which is the 1 and 2 player game by Uwe Rosenberg. There will be Dolcissima Vita by Giansimone Mignoni, which is a good and nice look at Italy in the 50s and 60s of the last century. Of course, I'll cover The Smoky Valley by Claude Serrois. I'll cover Raising Chicago, which is the second game in Matt Wolf's Urban Evolution series. I will cover London Necropolis Railways together with Daniel Newman. This is a joint venture by New Mills Industries and Spielworxx. And there will be Acadians, which is a third game in the Cajun trilogy by Jason Dinger, by the wonderful Jason Dinger. And of course, there will be 1837 Saxonia, which is Spielworxx' first 18xx game. I'm really looking forward to it. But there will be also Cole and Drew Worley live talking about John Company 2nd edition and much more. There will be Christoph Ungemach. He will talk about the concept of fairness in games. A very strange concept, by the way, I think. And there will be Dan Thoreau, Space Biff himself, sharing his wisdom. And finally, you may certainly win some games during the day. So as I said, I really love to have you as my guests at Conworks. And let's see, are there any questions? Yeah, Matt is saying, but we all know Saturday is the most important day. It is, at least it is a little bit longer. And when I'm saying 14 hours, there will be always after each piece, there will be, which are, most of them are 30 minutes. There will be a break of about 15 minutes to keep me sane. And of course, Matt, I'm really looking forward to your Raising Chicago piece, which I'll play before October 2 again. So Saturday, yes, will be very nice. And Chris is saying, I'm very excited about the new La Granja. Yes, me too. So what is always tricky, as you all know, when you're doing a game in a series, especially when it has the same name or part of the same name, like this game, La Granja El Burro. So first, there are expectations by the fans. They want to see some aspects covered. And Oda has done this nicely, so you will feel at home. But there are quite a few things that are totally new. So you have no central market anymore. This time, it is a good choice you should do to bring your goods not to the local market in La Granja, but from your farm all the way to the port, to the harbor. And this is a wonderful new element. Also, there are more card decks, and the game will be likely reduced from, or the number of game rounds have been decreased from 6 to 4, which at first glance, or when you're first thinking about it, you might say, well, yeah, okay, fine. But of course, the cards, if no matter where you put them, but especially if you add them at the bottom of your farm, they give you some benefits. And this, let's say you put a card down there on the first turn in the old La Granja, you can get this benefit 6 times, but now only 4 times. So you really have to balance this well. So, but Oda and Mike, who again co-designed this game, they are great designers, and they have some wonderful ideas. So in a serious game, you need to really think about the fans, but you cannot do the same thing again, or just add two new things, then it's more like an expansion. But this really is a new release. And Chris is saying also Pilgrim. Yeah, it's wonderful working with Nick. First, the game is in great shape, and then Nick is a wonderful designer, and I think the game is taking shape, and you'll really be happy when the game is out. The mechanisms are great, the history is there, the topic is there, everything falls together. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. Um, Saturday is fueled by Red Bull. Matt says, no, not really. I'm not drinking Red Bull at all. So I should start because it will be my breakfast with Ella. Loves board games. For her in Australia, it's of course a late lunch, but for me it's breakfast, so I should have a cheap prosecco already to start into the day, and then let's see how the game develops. So if the stream stops at 6 p.m., it may be either technical problems or maybe I fall asleep. So you'll never see. Matt, of course, if I'll schedule your speech about Raising Chicago then for 6:30, so you know. If you have to do it alone, too bad. And Chris is saying, to be honest, he also looks forward to the rest of the games. Yeah, thank you. So not all games will be games for all of you. So there will be some games which you like more because of the mechanics, because of the topics, and others may not be to your liking. But I think this group of games, there is something for everybody. So at least I hope. And Matt is asking, have you considered titling it El Burro with a subtitle of a La Granja game? This way it doesn't look like an expansion. No, actually we haven't thought about this yet. It may be better. It may be better. You're right. So, but all of these, or most of these titles that I mentioned, are not written in stone. Of course, Schrille Stille will remain Schrille Stille. Pilgrim should be remain Pilgrim, but we have some options. And I think that Gentes Epos, Epos is wonderful in German, but I'm not even sure if it's an English word, so I'm not sure if this will stay as a title. But yeah, right now these are what I'm thinking about. And Chris is saying whiskey for breakfast then. No, then I fall asleep at noon probably, which is a little bit too early. Um, I will have some whiskey though at Essen at the booth. So if you want to meet me there, you'll have to ask. This is for sure. Yeah, but Conworks is very much on my mind at this moment, and it will be a busy 1.5 days. But as I said, I very much prefer this live streaming to just canned videos, because I think even if there are just a few viewers asking questions or commenting, this is much more lively. So I really prefer this, and hopefully some people will enjoy it. Of course, not everybody can view 14 hours of game presentations on a Saturday. Of course, everything will be moved to YouTube later, and so you can watch these videos later as well if you prefer. And especially if you are overseas viewers, if you're watching this overseas, the early morning to at least noon or 2 p.m. CET streams will be too early for you. So you can at least you can watch them later and then see the rest live. This is at least the plan. Yeah, and I already said that probably today this will be a lighter, shorter episode, but let me at least mention that next week I'm having a guest here. It is David Turci, designer David Turci, and he'll present Voidfall, the 2022, so next year's release by Mindclash Games. So we'll take a close look at this game. He's doing it, I think, together with Nigel Buckle. So David will be my guest. And today, thank you for your time. If you would like to see a special topic discussed in the future here at the Spielworxx chat, please drop me a mail at uli@spielworxx.de. That is uli@spielworxx.de. And till then, bleibt gesund, Black Lives Matter. Bye bye.